The Omo function, found within the built-ins, the Function Plugins tab, and the Tools folder, is a really versatile function that you can use to play through sequences or switch things on and off. Now, prior to certain versions of Vizrt, you couldn't play certain AVI files or QuickTime files within Vizrt, so this Omo was one way to play through a TIFF sequence. So we would render out a TIFF sequence and import it into Vizrt. So we actually did that here. We have within our server tab and our images, we have a TIFF sequence. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to grab some of these images. I'm going to highlight my first image, let's say, which was 20, and I'm going to come down here to 125. I hold down Shift and it selects them all. And now I'm just going to slide all these images down into my group as a sub-container. You can see when I'm doing that it's slowly building these containers here. So I'm going to go back into my built-ins. I'm going to grab my Omo and slide this right onto the top group. I'm going to click on my Omo function and go into the Omo plugin. There's not a whole lot of options in here, and we have the first setting here, which is visible container. This is a zero-based function, so 0 actually equals 1. And what it actually does is it takes into account the number of containers or the subcontainers within a group. So this 0 would equal this first container here. Now I know that I have 105 images as a subcontainer here, so visible container, I'm going to start with 0, and I'm going to set a keyframe at 0 here. And let's just advance our timeline a little bit, and since I have 105 containers or images, I'm going to type in 105 in my Omo, hit enter, and then set another keyframe. Now when I hit play, it goes through and plays this animation. So I'm going to scale this up a little bit and hit play again. Now you see that it's going through sequentially each container here to play a movie. So it doesn't matter if you made a JPEG sequence, a TIFF sequence, or a Targa sequence. When you import it, the images get converted anyway. So this is one way that you can use to play a movie. Now again, it's performance based. These images were all 720 by 480. If your images are smaller in size, you may get away with more images. Now that's just one way you can use an Omo. But let's say we have another group here and we have a series of pictures that we want to be able to navigate through. So we can come in here and randomly select pictures by holding down Control, and we can just drag these down into the scene tree. And again, I have 6 subcontainers, and I'm going to go back into my built-ins, grab my Omo on here, and go into the Omo plugin. Now we can set it keyframes for it to go through each one, but if we want to give producers or graphic operators the ability just to switch through each image, we could do that. So if they wanted a picture of the switcher, we could give them the option just to change number 1, or if they wanted to go to the picture of Times Square, they could click on number 2 and it would go to that container. So if you scale these up, you can obviously set keyframes to make it go through each one of these, or you can do it individually as well. So that's with images. Let's say we wanted to give the producers or graphic operators the ability to select through objects. So even if we have external objects that we imported, so we have a series of objects here that were either made within Viz or made in an external program and then imported, we could use these, and we could use the Omo to have them select through these as well. Again, it's based on these subcontainers of the group. So as we click through each one of these, you can see that it goes through each object. So one other way that we can use the Omo function is with fonts too. So let's say we have a series of groups here. We can drag a series of fonts down. We'll put 4 fonts in here. And how about we spread these out too? So we'll just put one there, and we'll distribute them out like this. And if we go back and grab the Omo, we can give the producers the ability to choose which line they want. Do they want line 1, 2, 3, or 4? Now there's an option for keep visible, so when we turn this on, it's going to keep these fonts visible as you click through it.